And welcome to our midweek show of Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty of previews to get to as the state playoffs are opening for our area high school teams. You got the Statesboro Blue Devils hitting the road for Griffin. We'll hear from head coach Jeff Kaiser and some of his players. You also have the Bulloch Academy Gators at home as the number 2 seed hosting Brookwood. We'll hear from Pat Collins and some of his players. And over in Brooklet, the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets with the 2 seed as well. They'll be hosting Liberty County, and we'll hear from head coach Barrett Davis and some of his players in just a moment. We also have the Georgia Southern Eagles looking to rebound from their first Sun Belt loss of the season. The Eagles, coming off of the loss to ULM, will be hosting Troy. Troy, number 1 in the East right now, perfect at 5-0. And we'll hear from head coach Chad Lunsford and some of the players in just a moment. Before we go to break, we'd like to hope you'll all be safe out there. But if you happen to be in an injury or have an accident, we'd like to encourage you to contact the Sullivan Law Firm at thesullivanlawfirm.com or give them a call, 912-489-8888.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Well, the Georgia Southern Eagles looking to rebound from a subpar performance this past week against ULM on the road in Monroe, Louisiana. This Saturday, back at home, 1 o'clock kickoff at Paulson as they'll be hosting Troy.
What I've seen from this football team this year is we've been able to overcome adversity in ball games and then win. This is now adversity where we've lost the ball game, and now we've got to go into another game, and we got to make sure this doesn't linger. So obviously we had to talk a lot about that. We had to talk about that it's not the end of the world, even though we feel like it. It hurts. It's painful because we have seen a lot of success early. So I think it was important that we understand that it's just a different type of adversity, and how we respond to it determines what type of character we have. We put up some expectations of our football team early on in training camp, and every single one of those expectations and goals are still there. So we talked about that on Sunday. Again, I think it's important to go ahead and address the things that's going to get brought up so that we're not sitting there going, okay, now we're going to start thinking about it instead of thinking about this game. So we went ahead and addressed that. We talked about our expectations. We talked about what is in front of us. But again, to accomplish that, we've got to go into Troy and try to get a victory at home this week. So I feel very confident our kids will be very focused in on what we got to do this week. I want the guys to understand that our journey, our process, whatever you want to call it, we don't need to change that up. It has worked. And so why change something that hasn't worked? We got into a football game, and our formula to win, we didn't use it, and that's why we didn't win. So we got to make sure that we're doing those things that's gotten us to the point that we're at right now. I got a lot of respect for Troy. I got a lot of respect for Coach Brown. I mean, he does a tremendous job with that football team, and they're very well coached. They play hard. Obviously, when you watch the film next week, I think they'll look at, or from last week, they'll look at it and go, man, we can exploit some things. We just got to make sure that we get ourselves back, and we understand that we got to keep everything in front of us, just like we've done on defense all year up until that point. We got to make sure that we're not giving up the big play. We got to make Troy's offense go earn it. they've got playmakers. They got guys that can go do it. So we got to make sure that we're on point as we do this. It'll be a great challenge for us on defense. And then as far as our offense going against their defense, I mean, again, we're going against a very athletic team, a team that's very aggressive, a team that likes to really get after you with their different styles and can go different variations with this. And so a lot of things that we need to make sure that we're ready for, and our guys understand that this will be another dogfight for us.
Just coming off a big win last Thursday, we all expecting to keep the momentum going. It didn't go out the way we wanted to go. So I guess you could say it's a humbling experience. I know for me it is. Just make me want to go out there and work even harder for Saturday.
Do you expect them to try to test you guys with the passing game, because they throw it a lot?
Right. I feel like they should. I mean, they think it's a weakness on our team. They should try to get it, expose it. But I feel like Sloan, we're going to make the adjustments to get right.
I put this one, as far as the offense goes, on me. I got to do a better job of getting us going. I gotta make plays for us, especially on third down. I gotta convert, and that's just on me. I gotta do a better job of that, and that's something that going into this week, I'm gonna really kind of hone in and make sure I do a better job of. We know we get this one, that we will be in a pretty good place, but we gotta win the next three, and not just this one. Of course, this is a big one because it's the one that's next. Troy's a good football team, and we know they're gonna bring it because just like if they win, they're gonna be in a driver's seat. So it is what it is. We're gonna prepare this weekend. We're gonna be ready for Troy Saturday.
What does it mean to have financial freedom?
At Queensboro Wealth Management, we're helping people figure that out
and giving them a plan to get there.
If you have a desire to take control of your finances and live with financial purpose,
we will use every bit of our knowledge to help you.
And there's no cost to get started.
Download a free kit from our website, then give any of us a call. QWM is Queensboro Wealth Management. Let's begin today.
Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy. In-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests and ultrasounds, in-house lab. And introducing our new nurse practitioner, Melissa Beasley, as we now accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care. And join me now, the head coach of the Statesboro Blue Devils, Jeff Kaiser. Coach, coming off a 2-game win streak, 2 region victories for you guys. You were able to beat New Hampstead on the road, earning the number 3 seed in the upcoming state playoffs this week. First off, the New Hampstead game, kind of touched back on that. You've had a chance to look at some video. You guys were down 21-7. They scored 3 straight touchdowns. Would have been easy to kind of fold up and say, here we go again. You guys go on and score 4 unanswered touchdowns yourself.
Yeah, it was a weird flow of the game. We played about as – I won't say we played a bad second quarter. Just everything that could go wrong in a quarter went wrong in the second quarter. But credit to our kids and coaching staff of regrouping and scoring right before halftime to go in with a little bit of momentum. And then the second half we kind of had our way with them and came out with a good win.
All right, well, moving forward on Friday, you got to go up to Griffin, taking on the Bears. What do you know about them? What do you expect from them on Friday?
Good football teams. I told the kids, half the teams in the state of Georgia took up equipment today. The other half are getting ready for Game 11. Everybody that's still in it's a good football team. So there is a history with Griffin and Statesboro. In 2005, Statesboro beat them in the Dome in the semifinals. I think 2010, Statesboro beat them, and then in 2013, Griffin, which was the year they won the state championship, beat us. So there's a little bit of a history there. Griffin's a big football team. They're very big. They've got 2 defensive linemen in their front that are Division I prospects. One of them already committed to Auburn. So they're physical, they're big, they're fast, they're a good, well-coached football team.
When you go into a game like this, do you take any solace from the fact that when you guys played Wayne County, who's undefeated, ranked in the tops of the state, you took them to overtime? Can you use that as a way of showing these kids, listen, you guys are capable of beating anybody on any night?
I think our kids have I think our kids understand that now. We don't have to preach that as much as we did early in the year. Kids are developing some confidence, even though we got behind in Friday night, and our kids never panicked, never bobbled, never here we go. It was just down to business and kept plugging and kept fighting, and I think they'll continue to do that as we move forward.
Friday night on the road in Griffin, Statesboro and Griffin going at it in the opening round of the state playoffs. We'll have the players coming up in just a moment.
This is a Clydesdale. Despite what you see in the commercials, he doesn't play football. He won't bring me a cold one, as much as I wish he would. He does not fall easily in love with his kitty cat pals, of which he has none. He's just really good at being a horse on this ranch. I run with help from my banker, a Synovus, Bank of here. Really, Bruce?
And joining me now with the Statesboro players, we've got Will Yawn and Issa Mobley. We'll begin with Will. You guys were able to come back. You had a 7-0 lead, then they scored 21 points, and then y'all were able to come back to knock off New Hampstead. The mindset going in when you're down 21-7 seems like a lot different than maybe in the past when you guys were down.
Yeah, we just been harping on it all year that it's 0-0 after half. We got to come in here and just do our jobs and get it all done. Coach has been coaching us up on that all year, and we just got it done.
Issa, same for you. You guys give up a couple big plays on defense, and you're going down 21-7, but you guys hung in there and were able to shut them out defensively in the second half.
Yeah, going off what Will said, like I talked to the defense for the half, and I said come in with a dog mentality, and after that it was good.
All right, well, the big win over New Hampstead gets you guys into the state. First time in over 4 years. How exciting is it to be going in the state and going in as 3 seed where you're able to play a 2 instead of like a number 1?
I mean, it's a thrill. Like, it's a thrill to be back there and just to get Statesboro back up to the mentality that we're not done. We're not just that bottom seed. We're in there, and we're going to be in it to win it.
He said the same thing. You guys aren't just going in as the 4 seed, going to play some number 1 seed and maybe have a tough time. You're the 3. You're going to play a 2, and you guys have played well with teams like Wayne County. That's got to give you a little bit of some feeling good going into this game.
Yeah, like I said, we don't care who we playing. And every game, we're just going to give it all.
So you played Wayne County. You're playing Griffin. They're a big team. Wayne was a big team. You've had some success. Does that help you when you go into this game thinking we can win?
Yeah, it gives us the mentality that we can compete with anybody.
Same thing, Will. You're playing against Wayne County. You took them to overtime, almost beat them. Now you're playing Griffin, another team that's ranked, that's big. Does that give you some idea of, hey, we can play with these guys?
Yeah, all year we've been outmatched with size. Our line's not the biggest, but they're a bunch of dogs. They just get out there and they practice every day hard. They fight every single game. And we're going to have faith in them throughout. All
right. The game's 7:30 on the road at Griffin. Go out there and support the Blue Devils.
I think you're the ugliest one in that picture right there, Mr. Josh.
At Badcock, no credit refused isn't just an offer, it's a way of business and has been for over 100 years. No banks, no ridiculous credit requirements, just local Badcock store owners who treat you right and give you credit when others won't. It's never been easier to express your style and love your home.
Come visit us locally here in Statesboro at Piedmont Loop beside Walmart. It's now time for our Southeast Bulloch segment brought to you by Martin Turf Farm. And joining me now, the head coach of the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets, Barrett Davis. And Coach, you guys knew what was in store this past Friday. If you knocked off Johnson, you'd be the number 2 seed into the state playoffs. You go in with some momentum. First off, the Johnson game. Blaze Minnick actually getting it down on the ground. He had 3 rushing touchdowns and led the team in rushing. Don't see that happen very often.
No, you don't. You know, we've had a good rushing attack pretty much all season, and Blaze is a kid that makes smart decisions and knows when to hand off, and we'll tag some stuff, and we kind of watch how a defense is lining up to figure out when to utilize him on the edge or something like that. But he made good decisions, and he's been a great leader all season, so he's done a good job for us.
Your defense and your special teams both chip in. You get a safety on a block punt. Your defense, besides giving up that 1 touchdown on their first drive, shuts them out the rest of the way.
Defense played good. They came out in some sets that we hadn't seen on film, so they were a lot of empty with some tight end stuff. So we had to make some adjustments, and once we got settled in, I felt our kids did a pretty good job of containing their athletes and kind of keeping them in check, and got a block punt in there as well. So those were big things for us. So.
All right, well, this week, you know what's going on. You got your state playoffs against Liberty County. They almost were the number 1 seed, just lost to Pierce County in a good game. Now you've got them coming to Fred Shaver Field. Your thoughts on playing Pierce?
We're lucky to be at home. We got a 2 seed, so we'll get to play in front of our home crowd against Liberty. But we appreciate our kids. Nothing's going to change. We're going to stick to what we've done that's got us to this point, to get in the playoffs. And everybody's 0-0 this week, and there's all the good teams are still in it. So we've got 32 teams that are still in this thing in AAA. So we're just focused on Liberty County right now and trying to get our game plan together. And they've got a lot of great athletes on offense and defense, very fast, very physical. So we're gonna try to see how we can line up and see what we can come up with to try and get a win on Friday.
Well, you are new to the school, but you know the history here. And it's hard to avoid the fact that Southeast Bulloch hasn't won a state playoff game since the 70s. So do you play that up? Do you try to ignore that? How do you combat what they're hearing every year when this time rolls around?
Well, we've got a great group of leaders that has made that a goal for themselves the past 4 years. They've came up short the past few years, but we use that goal at the beginning of the season for motivation. We don't really try and look at it as a motivating factor now because we've already set our team goals, to make playoffs, to get a home playoff game. We've accomplished those, and now the next goal is to try and win a playoff game. But, we're going to do what we do and stick to what we do and stick to our routine. And we don't try and look at any of the history or anything like that. This is a brand new team, a different coaching staff, so a lot of new variables. So we're just going to go out and try and do what we do.
All right, 7:30, Liberty County and Southeast Bulloch. Stay with us. We'll have the players coming up next. This portion of the Southeast Bulloch Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Clayton Digital Repro Graphics. And joining me now from the players, we've got Jamari Daniels and we've got Keyshawn Lee. Keyshawn, we'll start with you. You guys were able to wrap up the season against Johnson. You knew if you won, you were the 2 seed, you get to host. How important was that game, and how do you feel like you guys are playing going into this state playoffs?
I feel like we're playing real good. I feel like that we will be working real hard in practice. I feel like if we work real hard in practice, I feel like we'll keep moving up and going in the region.
All right, Jamari, same thing for you. I know you've been a little bit bummed up there, but going into the Johnson game, you knew what was ahead, and you guys were able to take care of business.
Yeah, so we knew if we lost, we was gonna be on the road, and Coach preached that all to us all week. So we knew we had to win this game to host a home playoff game, so we have a better chance of winning first round.
All right, well, you guys know what you have now. You've got Liberty County coming in. They're a team that's got guys playing in the pros. They've got guys playing in college. Your thoughts on playing a team like Liberty there in the first round?
I feel like we can put up a tough fight. I feel like if we grind hard and do what we have to do, I feel like we can pull out the win.
Jamari, you know the history at Southeast Bulloch. You guys haven't won a state playoff game since the 70s. How important is it for you guys to kind of break that streak and get a win there on Friday?
It's very important. We're trying to make history this year, so I feel like this is the best year to do it.
Yeah, Keyshawn, same thing. Do you guys talk about it? How important it is to try to break this streak?
Yeah, very important, man. We trying to go all the way this year.
All right, Southeast Bulloch and Liberty County, 7:30 at Fred Shaver Field. Go out and support the Jackets.
A sports injury can stop you in your tracks. At Optum Orthopedics, our specialized physicians and staff use advanced orthopedic procedures with one specific goal in mind: to get you back to you. If you have a sports injury, request an evaluation. Experience the Optum difference.
Friday night lights to early morning deer stands, Anderson's General Store in Statesboro is your tailgating and hunting headquarters. Boots from Ariat, Georgia Boot, Irish Setter, Wolverine, and more, we have a pair for you. Check out our Costa and Ray-Ban sunglasses. And apparel from Columbia, Carhartt, and Drake. Dove, ducks, deer, we have all your hunting needs. And tailgate with a Big Green Egg or Traeger grill. Pack in the flavor with delicious sauces and rubs. Haul it all home with a utility trailer. Anderson's General Store, a general store, and so much more.
And join me now, the head coach of the Bulloch Academy Gators, Pat Collins. And Coach, unfortunately, going to the state playoffs off a loss. You had the region championship here Friday night against Frederica. Kind of got yourselves in a hole. Fought back late, but it was too little too late. Ended up losing that one. Your thoughts first off on the Frederica game?
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Frederica, obviously. They've got a fine team. They have two players that are going to Auburn or committed to go to Auburn. But it's interesting. We were in a region meeting earlier today, and I was having some conversation with their head coach. And I asked him, I said, Coach, who do you think the best player on your team is? And, what he did is he cited those two boys, but he also said, Coach, there are three boys that are just as good. And that's kind of how we had assessed it.
You had said that last week.
Yeah, there were about 5 players that looked like college athletes out there. So obviously we want to give Frederica credit. They did a fine job in the ball game. We all encourage each other out here to, when things don't go correctly, to look in the mirror first. And I've certainly done that, and I think our players have too.
Well, I guess the mindset now has got to be it's everybody 0-0, and you're moving on, and you've got Brookwood coming in from the Thomasville area. Your thoughts on this game, and do you feel like the kids' mindsets are it's a new season, let's start it off here on Friday?
Well, the blessing from Friday night is that we do have another opportunity. I would certainly have hated for that to be the end of the road. So we do have another opportunity, and I think our guys are mature enough to understand that it's, you've got to earn the right to continue to play, and that's the nature of the playoffs. And Brookwood is a shotgun team. They're a 60% passing team that will throw the football quite a bit. I will go ahead and say they do not have the speed that we saw on that field last week, which is a good thing for us. But they are very capable. They're very skilled at what they're doing. So, we've played similar schemes this year. We've just got to go out and play good, sound football. If we do that, I like our chances. For our school, Josh, it's a great opportunity. We're getting to host, and I'm told, and you can verify all this, I don't know, but I'm told that it's the first time we've hosted a playoff game since, I think, 2014. And it's an opportunity to win a playoff game. This school has never won a AAA playoff game. Many years in Class AA in the GISA had won several.
I think in 2006 was the last time.
Well, I don't know. You'd have to verify all that, but we would certainly like to get the monkey off our back in AAA and win a AAA playoff game.
All right, they get the opportunity Friday night, hosting Brookwood 7:30 at Gator Alley. We'll have the players coming up next. We are feeling fall at R.J. Pope's Men's and Ladies Apparel. Stop by R.J. Pope's in the Buckhead Plaza and check out their new expansion with plenty more to offer. Featuring brands like Mountain Khakis, Pants by Cool, jackets and shirts as cooler weather is upon us. With the largest selection of Georgia Southern and University of Georgia game day apparel, we make sure you're dressed to win at tailgating. When you're not cheering on your favorite team, we have your style covered, online and in store at our 3 locations. All right, join me now from the Bulloch Academy players' perspective. We've got Will, Aaron, and Lyons McKinney. Will, we'll begin with you. Coming off a tough loss to Frederica to end the season, do you feel like you guys learned anything from that game, and are you able to take any of that into the state playoff game with you?
Well, we're disappointed that we lost the game, but we got a good week ahead. We're blessed with the opportunity to play another week, playoffs, and we got to have a good week of practice.
Lions, is it important for you guys to kind of put that last game behind you because you've got the state playoffs here? You don't want to let a team beat you 2 weeks in a row.
Yes, sir. I mean, of course we wanted to win that game. It was a big thing, but our main goal is still on the table. I mean, main goal is state championship, and that really didn't affect it. We can still get it, so we got to focus this week and practice hard and
get ready for the big game. All right, so you got Brookwood coming in from Thomasville area. They tend to throw the ball a lot. I know you're a defensive back. Is that something you guys look forward to, or is that you've played some passing teams before?
I think we're well prepared. We got a few coverages that we're good in and that we're proficient with, and I think it should be a good week for us.
Lions, you're going to be able to play in front of the home fans here at Gator Alley, and it's going to be a good playoff state atmosphere, and you guys haven't won a state playoff game in a while. It's important to kind of get out there, be focused, and try to pick up a win Friday.
Yes, sir. This is a big week. I mean, we haven't done it in a while, so for us to be able to do it at home would be something special for us.
Same thing. Well, it's been about 10 years since you guys have won a state playoff game. Chance to kind of get some history, kind of build some stuff up this week.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity, and we're looking forward to it.
All right, 7:30 Gator Alley. Get out and support Bulloch Academy, 7:30 here at Bulloch Academy.
50 years, that's a lot of memories. And at Lee Hill & Johnston Insurers, we've been Statesboro's insurance people since 1963. Recognized as one of the leading agencies in Georgia, Lee Hill & Johnston is independent and offers a complete line of personal and business insurance for auto, life, home, and health. We'll shop companies to find the lowest premiums and best coverage for you, your family, or your business. Lee Hill & Johnston Insurers, the insurance people since 1963.
And it's time once again for Jen's Pick Six, brought to you by
Lee Hill & Johnson.
Last week the Eagles fell. Jennifer, we're going to begin with the Eagles again. I had picked Louisiana Monroe last week. Sorry, you took the Eagles. This week we're back on track. Got Troy. It's a pick 'em.
Just in case, guys, y'all didn't hear it, 3-3.
3-3. We were both 3-3. All right. Who you like?
Okay, so it starts this way. I'm going to tell you, Chad Lunsford and your team better get on the ball this week. That's for sure. So I'm picking Georgia Southern Eagles because we're at Paulson Stadium.
Got them as well. All right. Next up, your Georgia Bulldogs, 15 points they're giving Auburn.
Minus 15 points.
It's a lot.
So, I was trying to I did some research, and I really thought it, okay, I saw them win on television.
Yep, you did.
But I'm going to go with Georgia Bulldogs.
I'm taking Auburn to cover. You got Georgia Tech giving Miami 4 points, Jennifer. Paul Johnson.
I also watched this game too, guys.
All right.
Paul Johnson, what is happening to your team because you're winning?
They're doing a little better.
Georgia Tech is going all the way.
All right, you got Georgia Tech. They've done so good against Miami, but I'm taking Miami to cover. Maybe they don't win. Texas Tech and Texas, it's a pick 'em. Who do you like?
Wow.
No points.
I didn't recognize that one either, guys. But I seriously didn't. That caught me off guard, too.
Who you like?
But I'm picking Texas Tech.
All right. I'm going with Texas. Alabama's giving 24 to Mississippi State. Who you like, Jennifer?
Alabama.
That's a lot of points. Mississippi State. Last one. Kentucky giving 5 to the Tennessee Vols. You're going to Tennessee. Who you like?
Kentucky all the way.
I'm going with Tennessee. That's it for this week from Lee Hill & Johnson and Jennifer. I'm Josh Aubrey. We'll see you next week.